Hello friends, it's Jeff here and welcome to my corner and welcome to another Quick Tip Tuesday. Now today we're going to talk about aerial antennas. Yes, we've all been there. We finished our airplane, we painted it, we weathered it, and the final touch that we have to do is basically hanging up or applying an aerial antenna from the tail. Usually it's from the tailplane all the way either to the fuselage or to an antenna placed on the fuselage. Now that by itself can be a very hard thing to do, especially when you already painted your airplane. And there are many ways to go about. One of them is, of course, you can use stretched sprue. Now, stretched sprue is very fragile. The minute you bump into it or anything and it snaps, you're in trouble. So that by itself is not really the way to go. Now another way is, and the safe way, is the use of filament wire. And you can get these in any shapes and sizes and cost. For 1/72 scale and 1/48 scale, I would always go with like 2 or 3 pounds, 2 or 3 pound fishing line. That's usually the right and correct size. Now, what is the advantage of a filament line or a fishing line? Well, it's a little bit elastic and it's almost impossible to break. So you get a little bit of security right there, that it doesn't break whenever you bump into it. Another good thing is it works very well with super glue. So the minute you apply a little bit of super glue at the tip and you place it into position, 99% it will stick immediately and it will stay. So we're gonna do this on this old B17 I have here. I'm just gonna simulate something just for demo purposes. I'm gonna try to make or at least I'm gonna apply an aerial antenna from here all the way to the antenna that sticks out of the fuselage. So what do we need? Well, first of all, we need filament wire. Now, the wire itself, I got these at the Academy, but you can get them anywhere. This is like 300 yards, 330 yards, so that will last a lifetime. And these go about $4 or $5, depending where you shop. I'm sure you'll find them at Walmart too. So any filament wire that you'll find will do. So another thing is we need some super glue. Again, they come on all sizes and shapes, but I would go with the medium flow, not the really extra thin or the thick line. I would go with the medium. Loctite is fine, JB is fine. Basically any super glue will do. And then of course a knife, so we can put a little bit on the tip here and then eventually apply the aerial. First of all, we need, of course, drill a hole in the tailplane. Now, that by itself is already hard to do because you don't have much of a surface here. It's like usually it's very sharp, and especially when you work with 72nd scale airplanes or even 48, it's very narrow. So you have to get your smallest possible drill bit. And then, of course, you have to drill the hole and try to center it as good as you can. Don't use too much pressure in the beginning until you have some sort of a grip, and then gently try to drill a hole. Don't push it, don't rush it, because the last thing you want to do is basically skip off and make a scratch. So once that's done, then either you have something like this here, like an external antenna, or there might be another one that goes directly into the airplane, and then you have to repeat this on the fuselage too, or anywhere where some of them even have them on the wing. So it all depends where you have to apply or connect the wire. But for demo purposes, we're gonna keep it simple. I'm just gonna go from here all the way to here. So the first thing we do is let's get, like, I don't know if you guys can see this because it's like filament wire is very thin, and of course it's transparent. So, but let's say that we'll cut off a little string like this here, and we can always cut off the excess later on. But the first thing we need to do is let's squirt some super glue on a piece of plastic sheet or whatever we have laying around, and then gently, oh, we need tweezers too. Let me see if I can have some. Yeah, we need some tweezers too, of course. And then we'll try to grip it as short as we can, dip it into the super glue, and then gently try to adjust it or shove it into the hole that we just drilled. If you guys can see this. And then normally after a couple seconds it should be already dry and ready to do the other side. So as you can tell, it's already sturdy in there. Like I mentioned before, the filament wire works very well with super glue. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a little super glue on the tip of the external antenna that we have here, and then just try to do it under a little tension. Try to hold it in place there, like this. Just wait a few seconds. Just a few seconds. I think I used a little bit too much super glue, but that's okay. So let's hold it for just a couple seconds. And there you have it. So now we either cut the excess off with a scissors, or we can of course use a sharp knife. But there it is, and it's very sturdy. I mean, if I wanted to, I probably could hold it up, but I'm not gonna go to. But it is very sturdy and it won't break. So the filament wire or fish line is shiny, you know, it glistens a little bit. So what you can do to subdue that is get some flat coat in your airbrush and set it on a fine setting and just go over it. Just go over it a few times and then it will turn flat and it doesn't really reflect as much, or it doesn't look like it's shiny. And if you really want to take it even a step further and you want to impress your friends and fellow modelers, then you can simulate some tensioners. And the way to go about is very simple. So what do you need? Again, just have a little bit of plastic card or just some cardstock, and get some black paint. I like to prefer Humbrol because Humbrol is thick. So what do? We just open it up and take a little bit of the thick part from the paint can. Don't take too much, just a little bit. Put it on the card here. Then we'll take a sharp knife or any sharp object, but make sure it's the back of the knife. You dip it into the thick of the paint and then just barely touch it a few times. Let's say we'll simulate 2, that we have like 2 tensioners. And you keep doing that. You'll wait until it's dry and then you just add a little bit more each time. And then you build it up. I think you know what to do. You keep building it up. And at the end of this video, I will incorporate a couple pictures of my P38, some close-up of the tail planes, where I attached the filament wire and where I simulated those. I call them tensioners. So, and they're pretty convincing. So, not hard to do. Just have a little bit of patience. Now, again, this is the best way to simulate, or I guess, or the safest way to go about to simulate an aerial antenna is using filament wire or fish line, and you won't have a problem. You'll be surprised how much it can resist. So that's about it. Very simple trick, but very convincing. Well, that's it for now. Hope you guys like it. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Don't forget to like and share us on Facebook. And of course, most importantly, please go to our website at jeffyscorner.com for all your future purchases. I'll see you guys next time, probably in another quick tip, or definitely on Sunday at 7 o'clock Central Time for our live chat on Facebook. For now, you guys have a wonderful week. Jeffy here, signing off.